should say. My name is James. I'm from the US, and I've been teaching business and law at Western Sydney and International School of Business for over 3 years. The question is, what would you recommend to Western Sydney students when they prepare for their final test? They should pray. First of all, just do the test and you'll be okay, probably. Very few students do so poorly that I've seen. Most of the students do quite well. I've been impressed by the quality of the work that I've seen from the students. Lots of times I've gone through the course and I haven't seen that some student was so great, but then on the exam they performed very well. So I think that you shouldn't be too nervous about the exam. And I would also say the idea of staying up really late, the night before the exam is a bad idea, because what that results in is the brain inability to organize on the exam. And one of the most important things on the exam is, well, remember, it's not what you know. It's not what you write. It's what you write that I can understand easily, right? So imagine how many units of exams we have to grade, how much time we actually do have to grade them, right? And so if you are awake all night memorizing, but then you take the exam and you spend all your time on exam question 1 and your writing is totally illegible, then that's not going to help you do well on the exam, because you'll have missed 50% of the whole exam. And that happens actually much too frequently. Sadly, that happens a lot. That somebody would just obviously have had some kind of mental problem, like they're tired, and then they don't answer one of the 2 questions or something like that. And that would be a much worse result than if they had just gone to sleep early and they know they have to write something for everything, and they wouldn't have gotten hyper-focused on just one point. If you need to live in an island alone, what will you choose to bring along? Obviously, I would bring my phone. Information in the phone. We are basically cyborg. We are half a person and half a machine with that phone. Yes. So, as much as I'm not happy because nothing's private and our lives are on our phone, on the other hand, I do recognize so many things that I would want to know that I can find out from the Wikipedia that I downloaded here. So even if I don't have Wi-Fi, I still have all human knowledge on my phone. Did you ever cheat when you were a student? I don't remember ever having cheated when I was a student. I'm not really like that. I don't know. I think you have people that are like that and people that are not. I'm not that way. Yes. I'm curious about knowledge, so cheating wouldn't have been hard like that. It's just, I'm not, in learning, I'm not a results-oriented person, but rather the process. I love learning itself. So cheating wouldn't have been hard. I would have been concerned about it. And I would hope that everybody's like that, but of course not, because somebody did cheat. We know because we found their cheat sheet on the exam. Hopefully that never happens. Describe yourself in 3 words. I have drive, I have curiosity, and I have intelligence. Kids put together are nice, and that really would define me, actually, I think. I'm not saying that I'm intelligent in all ways. For example, I'm very weak in some areas of brains and strong in others. My theoretical knowledge is great. My theoretical ability is great. Problem solving theoretical is great. From everything from law to to science, to physics, to chemistry, whatever it is. But my knowledge of being able to remember things that are not theoretically based is very low. So my knowledge in Vietnamese language is very low. My knowledge in any foreign language is very low. Much lower than average. So I have a much higher than average in one area, balanced by a much lower than average in the area that I really want to be higher. I really wish I could learn Vietnamese like other people. It's not in the cards. We have to recognize what we're good at and do that. Describe Western Sydney students in 3 words. Well, polite, hardworking, and polite and hardworking are the 2 that I'm the 3rd. I don't have the 3rd. Friendly. But doesn't that go with polite? Do you know any Vietnamese words? Can you say it? Yes? Yes. What are your difficulties when living in Vietnam? Well, none. Mainly none. I mean, to be honest, this is my home, and I've always wanted to live here all my life. So I don't have much difficulties living here, and life is easy for me. But if I had to tell some difficulties, I would say, I guess it's a developing country with a developing way of doing business. It's very different than the way of doing business in the US. Very surprisingly different. And I think that you have to experience it to really get an idea. An American really couldn't expect how different it is. It's one thing to spend money and live day by day, but it's another thing to do business. Difficulties living in Vietnam. Registering my car was really hard. Driving the car, not hard. In fact, driving the car is easier and cheaper than in the US. In the US, the tickets, the speeding tickets are very expensive. You wouldn't believe it. And over here, people pretty much leave you alone. You know, there's just a few traps. So as long as you know where they are, then you know what the rule is in that area. But if you've never been there before, well, then you get hit the first time, but then you know what to do. So I think that, I guess the biggest difficulty of living in Vietnam is that I've spent a lot of my life in Hawaii, and I love water sports and fresh air and clean water and food. And I think that one of Vietnam's problems is the pollution of all of these things, the air, the water, and the food supply. And I think that food, if you want it to be clean, becomes more expensive in Vietnam than it is back home. And doing things in nature is harder also, because there isn't much nature that hasn't been people controlling and changing it all the time. Every park, you know, they keep changing it. Just as soon as you find a park that you like, they move it around, change it, put a festival in it. And so I guess the difficulty of living in Vietnam is finding quiet, peace and quiet. You have to pay a lot of money for that.
Yes.
And whereas in the US, like, you pay money to have action. In Vietnam, you pay money not to have action. Difficulty living in Vietnam would be, I really miss the water sports back home. I miss the wind and the water and the waves and the sharks and the whales and the dolphins and the turtles so much. And especially at night, looking up at the sky, seeing all the different stars and the shooting stars. I miss those things. And hopefully we'll have a clean environment in a few years, 5 years to 10 years. The environment will be clean.